Hello and welcome back for another video. In this one, I'll be continuing my NBA Draft Prospect series where I break down projected top picks' journeys and how they got here. Today's draft prospect breakdown will be Brandon Miller, a projected top 3 pick in this year's draft in June. So without further ado, let's get into it. Brandon was born on November 22, 2002 and grew up in Antioch, Tennessee. His parents, Darrell and Yolanda Miller, helped raise Brandon and his 2 siblings together. The family grew up as University of Alabama fans as his dad played football there in college and his mom ran track in high school. Not to mention, Brandon's older brother, Darrell Jr., played college basketball at Fisk University and then played professionally in Hungary. Brandon grew up as a 3-sport athlete, with the 2 other sports being baseball and football. Brandon would play all 3 sports up until the end of his freshman year in high school, where he had to make a tough decision to pick one sport and run with it. And he ultimately chose basketball based off his height and skills. Additionally, 2 NBA players that Brandon was watching and learning from was Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards and Paul George from the LA Clippers. Brandon attended Cane Ridge High School in Tennessee, and unfortunately, I couldn't find his freshman or sophomore stats anywhere, so I guess we'll just start with his junior year of high school in 2020 to 2021. Brandon had a successful junior year where he averaged 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.3 steals, and 2.6 blocks. Brandon was able to earn Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year, which is pretty impressive because he was only a junior. At this point, Brandon's name was starting to get some buzz in terms of recruitment, with Tennessee State being the first of many colleges to offer Brandon a full scholarship. Brandon was seen as a consensus 5-star recruit according to many recruiting services, and in his senior year of high school, he continued his dominance. In Brandon's senior year of high school, he averaged 26 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2 steals, and 1.5 blocks, and was able to repeat as the Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year, a truly impressive feat and shows he means business when it comes to the basketball court. At this point, Brandon was completely on the nation's radar for top recruits, as Brandon was invited to play in the Jordan Brand Classic game and the McDonald's All-American game. In the Jordan Brand Classic game, Brandon had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal in 12 minutes, and 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal in 17 minutes in the McDonald's All-American game. As you could guess, he did not win MVP with those numbers in either game. Brandon received various college offers ranging from Kansas to Kentucky, while also considering getting paid and going pro and playing for the Australian NBL League or the NBA G League. But ultimately, Brandon chose to follow his father's footsteps by committing to the University of Alabama. At the end of his high school career, ESPN had Brandon ranked the 9th best player in the 2022 class and the 3rd best small forward behind Dillon Mitchell and Dariq Whitehead. Fast forward to November 2022, where the college basketball season started, and Brandon got off to a solid start in his first college game against Longwood, where he had 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 1 block in 33 minutes. Not to mention, before the season even started, Brandon was already on the Naismith Player of the Year and Julius Erving Award watch lists, as his talents were already known nationwide. The very next game, in his second game, Brandon was able to breach the 20-point mark against Liberty, where he had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Soon after, on November 21st, Brandon would earn his first SEC Freshman of the Week honors, the first of many. Now skip to just his 11th game in college, and Brandon was able to breach the 30-point mark against Gonzaga in a tough loss where he had 36 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. In his 17th and 18th collegiate games, Brandon was able to record back-to-back 30-point games, resulting in wins versus LSU and Vanderbilt. In Brandon's 28th college game, he was able to crack the elite 40-point threshold against South Carolina in a win, where he had 41 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. To add to that, the 41 points was an Alabama freshman scoring record. At the end of the regular college season, Alabama finished with a 31-6 record, and Brandon would lead the entire SEC in scoring with 18.8 points, to go along with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Brandon was named the SEC Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year, as well as First Team All-Conference. Additionally, Brandon was named a consensus second-team All-American, as well as the USBWA and NABC Freshman of the Year. Alabama wound up winning the SEC tournament with wins against Mississippi State, Missouri, and Texas A&M. Brandon was named the MVP of the tournament after averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 1.5 steals. In March Madness, Alabama was ranked a prestigious 1 seed. Unfortunately, Alabama would end up losing in the Sweet 16 to San Diego State, who would find itself in the finals of the tournament against UConn. So not as bad as of a loss looking back. Brandon had a pretty subpar 3 games in March Madness, with scoring games of 0, 19, and 9 points. All in all, Brandon Miller will most likely be a top 3 pick, and at worst, top 5 in this year's draft. At 6'9" and around 210 pounds, Brandon does remind me of one of the players he follows, and that's Paul George. They both have a great shot, handles, and athleticism at 6'9", and can facilitate and bring the ball up if needed. I'm not quite sure if Brandon will be an elite defender like Paul George, but I think his floor is being a serviceable defender that doesn't quite hurt your team either. It'll be interesting to see if Brandon will be able to compete with Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson for Rookie of the Year honors next year in the NBA. Well, that's my breakdown on Brandon Miller's journey and how he got to be a projected top 3 pick. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on Brandon and what you see him doing next season in the NBA. I also wanted to mention my 500 sub giveaway, where I'll be giving away this Andrew Wiggins NFT to a random subscriber, and all you have to do to win is be subscribed to Z-Ball with subscriptions on public, leave a comment on any video, and have an NBA Top Shot account set up so I can transfer the NFT to you. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.